I'm not amused. Episode 7. All right, we got Leo Green Studios in the building.
Yes,
Leo Green,
indeed.
what's up, man?
Man, been working hard today. Working hard today.
Working hard. We've been working hard all week.
Actually, all week. Yeah, it's been all week, and it's gonna continue tomorrow.
Definitely.
Well,
If y'all don't know Leo Green Studio, Leo Green is on this channel a lot, but he's behind the scenes. Y'all just probably don't even recognize it, but Leo Green is a part of the Wolverine versus Scorpion versus battle we had last month, and he's also a part of the Madara versus Hulk battle that we did this month. And that is him in the previous two videos. And if you go over to his channel, YouTube Leo Green Studio, you'll see his channel. It'll be the first thing that pop up. You'll see our collaboration. So we're gonna be doing a lot of
yeah,
collaborations. You
it's
got
hype. I've been a lot of people been loving the artwork and stuff from it. Wolverine.
definitely,
I didn't do no artwork for Wolverine, but I did a whole bunch of it for the Madara versus the Hulk. I think it
definitely.
turned out pretty good. I think it's hot, and whatever we do next is gonna be hot too.
Yes, whatever we do next is gonna be hot. Now, the Wolverine versus the Hulk, we have the collaboration that we plan on doing monthly. So if y'all like that out, check us out monthly. Like I said, check out his channel. We're going forward. This month is September. Going forward, we're gonna do them monthly. Now, the Wolverine, I'm sorry, the Madara versus Hulk isn't the only thing that dropped this week. This week, there's been two trailers that I've seen that have been really entertaining, Leo.
Very.
There's a Spider-Man trailer and there's a Wolverine trailer. And you know, I'm a real big X-Men fan. I'm not as big of a Spider-Man fan, but I'm gonna tell you this: the Spider-Man trailer was way better to me. Or I better yet, I'm a little bit more excited for that Spider-Man game than that Wolverine game.
I think the Wolverine had a lot of hype. Now I know that me as a kid, I watched the X Men, and Spider Man was just like, let me wash it down. The X Men,
Yeah,
come on, first, and this Spider Man just dropped.
yeah,
And Spider Man, you got like Iron Man, and
yeah.
then it was for those who know. But
Oh yeah.
that used to be Saturday morning, R.I.P. Saturday morning cartoons. They don't
Oh
have
man.
those. But the trailer hype, I I really enjoyed both trailers, but I don't know what I'm gonna get from the Wolverine because the Wolverine was just Wolverine's back, and you see all of these people laid out,
Yeah.
incapacitated, and Wolverine is looking like, all right, bub, let me drink this alcohol, which he
Yeah.
ain't gonna feel.
Yeah, ain't gonna feel it.
I think he just like the taste of alcohol.
Yeah.
And, ooh, sunburn, sunburn, sunburn. Because he might as well be drinking milk or something. Maybe he drinks strong bases and it messes up his stomach or whatever.
Yeah.
But a dude with a knife is
A
like
knife.
a pocket knife at that. Is a switchblade look like he pulled out on him. What's he
Yeah.
gonna do with Wolverine's 3 foot long claws?
And I tell you what, they kind of cheated us in that trailer because they could have did a villain, right? And it would have been even more hype because
It's
one, they
a person.
didn't, huh? It was a normal person. It was a normie. And look, they could have shown any. Look, y'all, anybody that knows X Men or knows Wolverine knows that it should have been Sabretooth. But they could have showed literally anybody. They could have showed Cyclops walking up behind him, and it would have been just as exciting. Like, it's a trailer and it's a minute long.
I wish it was Cyclops.
That would have been
Cyclops,
hype.
you know.
Man, you know what? You know what I'm loving the most lately? When heroes fight each other. Like for real, like if
Yeah.
you do a crossover movie where you have Wolverine versus Spider Man, like I believe that would be just as hype as this last Wolverine. You know the names of these movies. Is it the Wolverine where he fights Sabretooth? Or is it Origins where he fights
It's Origins where he
Origins?
fights. But he fights him in X-Men 1.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That Sabretooth was so terrible. I don't even count it.
Nah, I don't think that's Saber. I think that's what Saber too, because he had the fingers.
He was
They
too
had.
dumb, man. He was too dumb. He didn't have no will of his own.
He was out there fighting.
They turned him into a goon.
You know what the problem is? All of them were goons. Everybody out there was goon,
I
and guess
agree.
who was? You know who was the most goon out of all of them?
Man, you
Storm.
know.
Storm.
How do you make a good guy a goon?
Man, she had no words until like the last X Men.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. She had no.
Actually, she have words in the X Men to X Men first X Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah. And she finally got a little time. Is that when not killed, but she attacked that frog?
No, and the frog. I think the frog was part one. Frog was
Okay.
part one.
Okay. Yeah. That was, we was real big Halle Berry fans. That
Yeah,
was the highlight of
yeah.
that one.
Things she said in that whole movie. But anyway, we getting off track.
Yeah, we're getting off
I
track.
don't know if it's gonna be a good game because it's just a trailer with no gameplay. I don't know what to expect from Wolverine. I know everything to expect with Spider-Man. However, Spider-Man's trailer has some kind of hype at the end of it. It
Yeah.
started giving us somebody else's voice. It's like, I know that voice. Where do
Yeah.
I know that? Who's that character? You said his name, Craven, right?
Craven.
Craven. But when the villain walked out the shadows, it was the Venom. And I'm like, the Venom? Oh my goodness. If the Venom and the Craven got together, that would be rough because he's trained to come after
Yeah. Both of them. That would be really rough on them. It would
both
take
of
both Spider-Mans.
it would take both Spider-Mans. And I think the Miles Spider-Man is going to be the wow factor because they know the
True.
Peter Parker one.
True.
I,
Well,
I,
they kind of cheating with Peter Parker because, when we was a kid, he didn't have all this Tony Stark's robotics. But now they got this, he has the extra legs that be attacking because he's
mm,
almost like Iron Man himself.
but
So
he's supposed
they
to be
kind of
older too.
spice up.
He's older because the other guy is younger.
Yeah. Well, they kind of spicing up the classic Spider-Man. So
They
what I'm
need,
saying is you have actual new
but
abilities from both now.
so you know what? It makes it a little bit better because I know Spider-Man wasn't as fast as they was making him
Yeah.
take a hit a lot better.
Yeah.
So they shoot like sonic weapons at Spider-Man all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You think? So I don't see him running away. And the new Spider-Man, you know what? You know what's really been happening with the video games? So since it's next gen, it's the 4K. You get to see all the spicy details in their suit because
Yeah.
they show you all the threads and the mesh or whatever.
Yeah.
They had to make everything nice and shiny for it, and just having regular clothes is not enough.
Now you had a good point when you brought up we see a trailer, we get hype over the trailer, but you don't know if the game is good because like to me, I think about Jump Force because I
Mm-hmm.
just bought Jump Force because I know it was a bad game, so I don't get to backtrack and say that it surprised me, but
You
the
thought it was a bad
trailer was so good. Like I had already made up my mind when it came out I was gonna get it.
trailer? So I seen Jump Force before, and I knew, like, I liked the idea, but I disliked the idea at the same time.
I had to play with a Bleach character. I had to.
So it was nice, but I was like, who else am I gonna get besides them?
Yeah.
Uh, I think about like older games that just couldn't support it. You used to give good cutscenes, and then it revert to like this real bad gameplay.
Yeah.
But some of it was at the time it was boss. All right,
Yeah.
so X-Men Age of Apocalypse was like the second X-Men game that they had,
Oh
and
yeah.
you would run around and you would just be over them. So it
Yeah.
was like a third person view,
Yeah.
and you do all your fighting tricks.
That's right.
But
That's right.
you scene through it, and the movie scenes was balling. Like if you go look up the movie scenes from that PlayStation 2 game,
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 game, you'll be like, what in the world? Where are they getting this from? Because I think it still holds up today.
Yeah.
But fast forward, that's how you go fast forward, right? uh, the Avengers just had a video game where they
It
had
sure did. Yeah.
all of us, but the new game system couldn't even support it.
Yeah.
Like it would kept cutting out
Yeah.
and having to load in the field if you went 4K.
Yeah. Now,
But
now let me
I
ask
think
you this.
good on that.
Now, do you remember that Wolverine game? Because it came out like with the movie. I think it's even named Wolverine Origins, and it was fun. But like, could you imagine if they put in the same effort as they put into God of War? You know, there's a new God of War coming out. Could you imagine
Yeah.
if they put in that same kind of effort into a Wolverine game? Like, that would be amazing.
Well, that would make the game a hype game and a half.
Yeah, like, oh,
I can see Wolverine running around the woods attacking people.
what villains would you put in a
Right?
Wolverine game?
Huh?
What villains would you put in a Wolverine game?
Man, he has so many doggone scrubs that come after him. That's good enough.
Like,
Like,
okay,
like
would you make Sabretooth the automatic boss?
no, Sabretooth would be one of the end bosses. But like you said, in that X-Men movie, he ain't smart enough to hold it down.
Wait
I
a
think
minute.
he could be part of the. All right, so they do have some timeline where Sabretooth is trying to get like the animanium in his and he's mad and he's always chasing him because
Hmm.
he like I should have been Weapon X.
Yeah,
He's not Weapon X.
yeah.
But I couldn't he wouldn't be the main boss for me.
Now, here's my problem. Like, the first Fox movie did Sabretooth terrible because he was a goon. But the origin story did him right. Like, the reason he could be a boss is because he's kind of like when I think about Batman, I think about him being more like Bane. Like,
I didn't like him.
they
He was
always,
regular.
yeah,
I
like you have to do him right to make him a villain. Like, you can't make, like, do you remember when they used to make do you remember the George Clooney Batman movies where they turned Bane into a goon? That's why
what
it was so bad.
I think the first X-Men movie with Sabretooth was more representation of of Sabretooth because remember Sabretooth had like the little one piece onesies on or whatever and he had all the fur and that guy didn't have it on at all. They had him stripped. They was just like we gonna give him a beard
Yeah,
and we might give him some fangs and
yeah,
that's all they gave.
yeah.
That's all they gave him.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Well, because you talking about the X-Men movie, right?
the Wolverine
Not
origin they cheated us in that
oh,
with
that
him.
he was just a regular dude in like a jacket.
He was a regular dude. They
Yeah,
I
they
like
cheated. Yeah, they cheated. But that's
I
what I'm
like
saying. Fox
they
did that
they
wrong.
they if they would have gave him more of that personality.
Yeah,
But I get it's the start of the movie. That's why he didn't get so much shine time. Um,
I
because he
think.
definitely because he was working for Magneto.
Listen, my problem is I think that Fox and Marvel, what I didn't like is they didn't want to put them in their classic costumes. I had somebody tell me that they don't want to see Wolverine in their yellow and blue. I want the yellow and blue. I want the actual costumes. I mean, now that you're in the MCU, like, could you imagine they just put Spider Man in his own new
I
black
like
leather
I like
jacket suit? I don't want to see that like they did the X Men. I want to see you
I
in your
like
classic costume.
the what is it the Easter egg.
Hmm.
I think Days of Future Past they showed the yellow jumpsuit, but he didn't put it on because
Oh
you
yeah, 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 yeah,
on this because they didn't want to have to pay anybody,
yeah,
so they have to pay if they look like any of the action figures.
yeah,
They're gonna have to pay like Hasbro or whoever.
yeah. And that's
So
why I
that,
didn't like it. Yeah,
but
because that's why we
that,
like the apocalypse. That's what you're talking about in that they get like
oh, they did
apocalypse looking like apocalypse makes it right.
a horrible job with Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Horrible. And Apocalypse is my favorite character.
Yeah. Oh man, he's mine too. My favorites are Apocalypse, Omega Red, and Juggernaut. Favorite villains, like to me, and that's why I was saying like if you make that Spider-Man game, what will make it fun is if you throw in the villains. Like the villains make the game fun. So let's say in Spider-Man, I think you already have a good game if you have Craven. What's up?
Spider be a grinding game.
It
It's
is,
gonna
but you
be
know what I
leveling,
mean. Like you
beat up all the little people. You remember in the other Spider-Man games, you had to beat up and I
yeah
think it's gonna like that because with Spider-Man, you know what? Wolverine, we don't know what to expect. Like you said, if they do anything like God of War with it,
yeah.
it's gonna be a nice game.
That would be
Spider-Man, we
sick.
know what we get because the other Spider-Man games did the transition where it changed.
Yeah,
Like you even have that Spider-Man game.
I have it. Played
That
one
last
mission. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Apparently mine, you beat it when you beat Wilson Fisk because they didn't never get back in my PlayStation after that. Kingpin is the end of the game. But I get it. Like the little goons are the source of the game, but like Spider Man has so many villains that you can just throw them in there. Like Shocker. We talked about Jamie Foxx. Like they
yeah, he
did
was a
that Andy Garfield in Rome because they like that should have been Shocker instead of I think that dude name was Electro or something. Like no, give us the classic villains like Shocker, Scorpion, the Lizard Man. Man, I remember the Rhino was exciting and that that's like a goon,
they,
but he was
they
still
dropped
exciting.
in that that second one with the Jamie Foxx one. They dropped him in there, but they ain't sure it's no more to fight. And that was going to be a balling fight
True.
because they CGI the Rhino dude to look amazing.
Yeah.
He looked more realistic than a muscle built dude from the '90s cartoon.
Yeah.
Because the Shockers that they did, because no, that was in the second one. So they did have the Shocker dude in the second one, but it was a bunch of different Shockers.
Oh.
So
Are we talking about Andy Garfield second movie?
the second one, they had a bunch of different Shockers. So one dude put on the suit, he was the Shocker, and then another dude, he died, and he just picked up, I'm the Shocker now.
Your memory is good. I have to rewatch these movies. How do you remember this? Like I feel like the Shocker was in the Tom Holland one. I remember that. It
Yeah.
wasn't good. They didn't do good with it, but they put him in there. Like he was working for the Vulture. He was working for Michael Keaton, that Batman Vulture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I didn't like it. I didn't like that. Honestly, I like Tom Holland as Spider Man, but I don't like his movies. I like him in the Marvel MCU movies, but not in his own movies. So I'm not like when we talk about these Marvel movies coming out, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Spider Man. I'm not interested in any one of them. Like
I want to
honestly,
see.
like
I
I
want
could
to.
wait.
You know what they should do or whatever, but I guess they canceled already because I seen I liked Cage. What is it?
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. Luke Cage was going ham until they got rid of the main character, the main villain.
It went good for 4 episodes, and then they got rid of Cottonmouth because Cottonmouth was the best part of it. Yes, I agree.
Got rid of Cottonmouth and couldn't watch it after that.
I
So
agree. I agree.
maybe they might have some of those good guys
Yeah.
in the mix too.
Yeah.
Since they're trying to make a more diverse Batman, Luke Cage would. I think he's one of those people who's in the comics with that Spider-Man. That would make sense.
I know when they do those crossover events, he's in there a lot. Luke Cage is in there.
They in New York.
Yeah, they all in. It was a Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, Daredevil. Yeah, they all in there. Cause I was just watching What If, and it reminded me that Spider Man and Captain America are from the same area. But you don't think
Yeah.
that. You don't think that. Like you think Captain
Well,
America. You don't think New York.
80s or whenever they need them to be, the 2000s.
Yeah.
Timeline is so rough.
Yeah, man. So like in that bit, like if we talking about that Spider-Man 2 video game, look, do you know anything about Miles Morales? Do you know if he has the same villains as Peter Parker, or like in a video game, would you
It
just
looked
throw
like
in all Peter Parker villains?
it looked like it because whenever he was in Into the Spider-Verse or whatever, they threw him in there
Yeah,
and he watched Peter Parker die, which was a very disturbing thing. I
it
thought
was rough. It was rough. I don't know why that was.
it was a real disturbing
Hey,
one.
Leo, I didn't watch it twice. I didn't watch that movie twice because of that. It was a good movie, but I
Good
only
movie.
needed to see Peter Parker die once to be satisfied on the movie.
I was like, man, it was real. They pulled no punches on that one.
Oh yeah,
They gave him the dead. So, and I wondered if they put that in the other video game,
you talking about the one I have, the Spider-Man 1 or the Spider-Man 2?
the Spider-Man one. I wonder if it's in there because that came out the same time as the movie.
Yeah,
It dropped to introduce him, but you said he was a a downloadable character.
Yeah, see, Miles Morales, that they released that. And I'm not sure. I thought they released it for the PlayStation 5. You know, PlayStation 5 been out so long. We just ain't got no PlayStation 5 to show for it being out so long. But I think they did the Miles Morales as a release. So it could be that, like you say, they came out at the same time. So Peter Parker might have even died in the real
And
one. But
that
I'm not
because
sure.
the Peter Parker was out of shape and had stubble and all that kind of other stuff
He
that was
sure
helping him.
did. Yeah.
And did they bring in all the other Spider people in the game?
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
we're gonna
I
do YouTube.
only I only know Miles Morales, but like Gwen Stacy, it was like ain't it a robot Spider Man?
It was a duck. I mean, a pig.
That's right, it was a pig. Yeah, yeah.
And the spot one, yeah, it was.
I honestly I don't even remember what the villain was in that one.
It. I think he has some of the same yet different characters in it.
Yeah.
That you need to see, or if it's even in the timelines, because the timelines are different, and how they have a kid Iron Man. I
Oh,
wonder if they
yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna bring in the kid Iron Man and the little kid Iron Girl in there as well.
Let me ask you this: as far as the Marvel movies, do you want to see Shang Chi?
I want to see Shang-Chi.
You want to see it? That's Shang Chi and I want to see Black Widow more. Let me see. Out of the three, Spider Man, Shang Chi, and Black Widow, which one did you want to see the most?
Spider-Man, because they got uh Doctor Strange in
Doctor Strange, yeah. Oh yeah. I
it.
would.
And
All
I
right, I'm gonna put it like this. I want to see Black Widow the most because I feel like that'll give me closure for the last phase. And I want to see. I really want to see it. I don't even talk about Black Widow because I hate spoilers. But I want to see
you
Taskmaster.
gotta see Black Widow first because it came out first,
Yeah,
and it's gonna tie. It's gonna make Shang-Chi make sense more
yeah.
because we don't know anything about him.
Nothing. Which I wish they wouldn't have bothered bringing them in.
No, they
Like
have to. They have to. They gotta have new blood, man. Gotta have new blood.
man, if
Because
they
all right, think about it. They sucked the blood out of uh
they,
Iron
they
Man,
went to killing people. They killed him, and then they killed what's his name?
Captain America.
Yeah, Steve Rogers, Captain America's. Yeah,
To let him die somehow.
yeah.
Die.
So one. I think they should stop making Marvel movies. This is my personal opinion. It ran its course. Stop doing these
Well,
movies.
you know what it is. You know what's the problem? This is the real problem. We stopped really caring about comic book characters back in the 90s. All right, because in the 90s, all of the characters that they have
Yeah,
are characters that we spent years researching.
yeah,
That we wanted to know more about these characters.
yeah,
I guess if we had kids or whatever, these characters would be the new characters that they. Because like I'll go into like a comic book store.
yeah,
I'll go to like Book Chameleon or something like that,
yeah,
and I'll look, and they'll have new comics up there, but I ain't necessarily messing with the new comics if they don't have somebody old on it that I've seen before.
yeah,
I think we're trying to get and switch over into some new things because I feel like the same way with like anime. I don't
yeah.
even mess with new anime as
Yeah, me
much.
too. Yeah, me too.
So
I feel like with the limited time we have here on this in this dimension, I'll be like, it's time for me to recap these animes that I watched. I want a refresher instead of trying out like you never tried
what,
Demon Slayer, did
what
you?
I dislike this though. How many new remakes that they making? Now I get some remakes we need because just imagine if we had to just live off of the '70s Batman or the '60s and the '70s Batman.
No, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. But I'm saying that as old as I am now, I have 30 years worth of content that I need to
Mm-hmm.
be catching up on. So like instead of trying to hang with the new content, I'm like it's time for me to recap the old content and be more refreshed on it. Cause look, I watched this He-Man on Netflix. It was terrible. I don't know if you ever tried it, but this one that just came out, it was terrible. But it's potential
And
because
I like He-Man. I used to really like He-Man when I was a kid.
yeah, like if you watch the highlights of the old ones, it looks entertaining.
You like the old one better? Have you tried to watch the old one?
I haven't tried though. I just see clips of it.
It's,
I see clips of it, and Skeletor is
it's,
super funny.
yeah, Skeletor is super funny. You know what's the
It make me want to watch it.
you I think what they did or whatever, they try to mix an alternate universe with He-Man and the Thundercats.
Yeah.
So in the Thundercats, the Skeletor dude is the last human alive,
Okay.
and everybody
In
else is
Eternia.
no. I'm saying like I think they try to mix them. You have to go back and look that up.
Yeah.
But I know for sure that he's the last human, and everybody else, like the Thundercats, or something else. They're like the humans didn't make it, and Magmar or whatever his name is the last person.
Oh wait. So you're talking about Thundercat. You comparing Thundercats to He Man.
Well, I'm saying I think they try to put Thundercats and He-Man together because they
Oh
came out roughly around the same time,
yeah.
trying to make money off of each other, off the cartoons to make money for the toys.
Yeah.
So
Well, I can tell you this: if you consider watching that one on Netflix, don't consider because
well, how man?
it's just bad, huh?
You remember the original Candyman?
No, I don't remember the plot, but I know I've watched it a few times.
So I was in the fourth grade when Candyman came out.
Yeah, but that is when you say it, it's scary. Cause I remember being in school and they always tell you to go say it in the mirror. So every time you say it, it's scary to me. I didn't never try it as an adult, but I tried it as a kid. But every time you say it, it scares me.
But it was like, all right, you walk up to the mirror, and he was telling the dude to say it, and the dude kept saying, "All right, what up, Candyman?"
Candyman. Yeah.
Candyman. No, you're saying it wrong. You gotta
Yeah.
say, "All right, Candyman." That's what I say, man.
Man, is that a movie or I mean that is the scare. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Let's move on to the next topic. Hey, you know the funny thing, Leo, let me bring this up, and we can end. We can end. I'm not amused off this. Okay, I was in the group chat, and Static E brought up Saw. All right, so
Uh-huh.
I don't know what number Saw that we're at now.
That'd be
Whoa.
like 10.
At what point did you stop watching Saw? Like I know we all gave it a shot. So what was the last Saw that you saw?
I can't even tell you. It had to be like Saw 6, probably.
You made it that far?
I think I made it that far.
Man, at some point, you know the point for me was Saw 2. I was like, wait a minute. This movie is just trying to gross us out. Let's just be
I
honest.
think I think I made it far in the movies, but it was because the villain dude had died, and it was like
Yeah.
you you know what? They just had a Saw came out because Chris Rock was in it.
That's why I brought it up. Yeah. Look, okay,
But
so Static E brought it up because he said there's a video that explains how to get out of all the saw traps, and I was like, if I remember Saw right, you don't,
you don't get
you
any
don't
crap.
get out. Like you get, matter of fact, you get out, but you, you have to
You
give
know,
up
like,
to get, you have to give up some stuff to get out.
oh, hold on, I gotta give out this.
Yeah,
I
you can get out. There is a way out. They tell you how to. He tells you how to get out, but you got to give up something. That is the ultimate Izanami. You know, Izanami, you have to learn from your mistakes. That
yeah.
Saw is that. But anyway, I was like, Saw, the one where he has to cut his foot off. You know, that's the first one, right?
Hmm.
Leo, when I met you, we were roommates. It had came out, and I think you were the one that told me that that's Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cutting his
definitely.
foot off, and I'm like. I would think that you would cut the chain, but even though
It was
he cut his foot because the chain wouldn't cut right.
it was the wrong type of saw to cut the the chain. It only would cut through bone.
I know, but here's my point. Yeah, exactly. But here's my point. Out in the group chat, I said this. I said I wouldn't have found out that I need to cut my. I wouldn't have cut my foot off within 1 week. Like it had to take me months in
Well,
there before I cut my foot off.
this is the problem I have with it. What was the chain hooked to? Because if you had the saw,
Yeah,
you could bash
yeah,
against the
and break
doggone
the
chain against the wall and walk out.
yeah. I
Your
think
body weight, your body weight is heavy enough to mess with the wall.
yeah,
I'm saying even if it's welded, they would have to. It would have to be a really good weld for it
yeah.
to hold at the end. A regular chain ain't enough.
I think it's safe to say
And
he
you know,
may have panicked.
is you know what the crazy thing is? He could have kept turning his body around and round and round and round and round until it got hard, like the chain would lock in,
Oh yeah,
and then he could break it
pop
off
it
with
out
the
the
chain
joint. Yeah,
and not, yeah, break that part of it. He was gonna go with that chain. I would have leave with that chain because it would have been a messed up part for me to see the dude just walk up after he was laid out on the floor dead. Like, what kind of sleeping was you doing, man?
man.
I guess since he had cancer, he was really sound sleeper or something like that.
Yeah, that whole time he was the one. Man, that movie was twisted. That movie was twisted, but I
And
did not know it was still going.
what even was more twisted was that they had Shaq do it, and then Shaq cut off the wrong foot. It
How come when I think of that, I think of Shaq? Where is that coming from? Shaq wasn't in the movie.
was a scary movie.
Scary movie.
It was
I
either
swear
scary
to you, I
movie,
think of Shaq when I think of that. Yes. Scary movie. Dang, your
probably,
memory's good.
probably a scary movie too.
Yeah, because yeah, that was a fraud one. Definitely not one. One was good. Man, you know what I learned? That they didn't want to make a sequel, but the people that own, they forced
Nah.
them to make a sequel. And they didn't really want to force a
So
sequel
that's
so
why
fast. The Wayans brothers didn't want to make a sequel that fast.
I wonder if the Waynes was just getting money off of the sequels.
They're not a part of none of the new ones. So if you talk about anything after two, they not no. They
Is
stole
that
they stole that from them.
well? Then it might have been three. Then it might have been three.
Three had Charlie Sheen in it, right?
Yeah.
I think they only in the first two.
So Shaq must have been in number
Oh,
three.
three,
Then
yeah, number three, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
they was just they was just all out of hand
Yeah,
in the Charlie Sheen one.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I liked them, but I stopped at three. You know, there's a new one on Netflix. And look, you can everybody look, y'all can check it out after this. I think it's still on Netflix. I know when I looked it up at the time it was, but when you look it up, look and see. Did you know that there's another scary movie I like? Snoop is in it.
I think I seen that.
Oh dang.
I don't think I watched it.
I know I didn't watch it. I know I didn't watch it, but there's a scary movie with
No,
Snoop
no,
in it.
that that is one because Snoop was going ham. They had a shootout. Him him and the Mick Miller dude had a shootout in the
Oh
movie.
my goodness, Leo done seen it, y'all.
They kept trying to shoot each other. They kept pulling out guns,
Yeah,
and that was the start of it. That's how it started. And then I cut it off because it's ridiculous.
goodness. Well, man, I'm not amused. Episode 7, Leo. You got any shout outs?
Oh man, just check us out, man. Check us out. We got a lot of new content or
Yeah.
whatever. Some stuff that's short and sweet to the point. Some stuff is explaining a lot of things. So just check it out.
Definitely. Y'all, I know this I'm not amused has been short. Some, you know what I mean? Like a lot of them are a lot long. A lot of them have more co-hosts on it, but this one we worn out, man. Y'all check out our challenge. Y'all see we worked hard this week, and please check out the Hulk versus Moderat. There's two on my channel. There's two on Leo channel. If y'all got any time, check them out. Like and
Hold on,
subscribe to them.
this is the real thing, okay? Because we've been debating everything. Let us know who you think wins. I
That's
have
a good point.
Adara, and I'm gonna say some other people I know are trying to say that the Hulk. But hey,
Because we
who
was
am I? You tell me who you think.
Leo's right. Hey, and I don't think in none of the videos we asked who do y'all think win. Look, when y'all watch the video in the comment section of either one of the videos, it don't matter if you're watching the art one that Leo's doing. Leave in the comment section who you think wins the fight.
I'm gonna go change my name to someone and ask you who you think will win this fight. At a versus, I'm gonna rename it. Who you think wins this fight?
Definitely, definitely. Y'all, I promise y'all, if y'all like them, there's more coming, y'all. I'm Not Amused, episode 7.